Where do I begin? Yet another final act of fuckery. I have been stating that this guy is intentionally trying to harm me for a year and change. And um, here's just one more example. Um, I came across this yesterday, stumbling through, and just realized what has actually been done here. This is U.S. Bank Corp. This is 2020 or 2009 when my mother died. This is the beginning of the crash. This is the rise beforehand. I don't know exactly when this was exactly purchased. We'll have to go back and determine that in a moment. But I'm going to assume we had this here, could have gotten out before this crash and then took it down. Anyway, bought back in if he had to have it. So apparently he had to have it. It's in everything. It's in my account, Trust 1, Trust 2, my mother's trust, and the Barnett Foundation portfolio. So apparently he's a huge. Now, granted, it has, that's a meteoric rise from where this thing started in 1993, 89, 85, when the Barnett family showed up on the scene. I don't know when we got in this. So, but anyway, it's obviously performed exceptionally well. They're not stopping. They've got other things going on. As you can see, the Vietnam, they've partnered with U.S. Bank on retail financing and leasing solutions. Retail. Now, why would they be going into retail? That makes no sense to me, being that we're in an online world and we're going into the metaverse, according to Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum. And his hairless chimp, you do well know all Harari. Anyway, increases prime lending rates. What do we got here? Guys, expectations, above expectations. Mixed fourth quarter results. Okay, anyway, so, but it's back, and it's back on the rise. It's taking some lumps. So, I've been holding on this since at least, 2009, I'm guessing, because that's when everything else in Trust 2 and things got rearranged in Trust 1. It wasn't in there in 2009. I don't remember seeing that on that initial page, but we'll go back and look at that. So kind of got things organized and I don't want to mess things up. So, I'm saying get out. We have this email here from here, specifically about U.S. Bank. I went and typed it into my sent box, and I came up with 13, and some of these are just regarding talking about U.S. banks in general, and getting out and bail-ins. Get me out now. The banks, like you, are trying to hurt me. Anyway, maybe we'll actually go back and look at that one. But for now, let's check this one here. This is a response from my friend who's an attorney, a trust attorney. Well, I don't know if she's a friend or not, because, anyway, we went to high school together. Anyway, so, where are we here? Sure, it's Disney. It's beyond rude. I received no responses from anyone. Tomorrow will be a week since I sent my list of questions. How in the name of this God can this be legal? How am I supposed to believe the people who are supposed to be looking out for my best interest and financial fitness are not, in fact, doing just the opposite? What choice do I have left other than court? Bankrupting me and redistributing my family's wealth has been the plan all along. I do not have the right to answer these questions. I do not have the right to the answers of these questions. How much more abuse must I endure? How much more must I lose? Being a slave for 3 years, a testicle on me, and all my money isn't enough. Trust 1 divested instead of invested. Trust number 2 ignored and underperformed. There's a song there. American Dream stolen. The fact that I've not received any response, combined with a declaration of bankrupting me and legal fees, this is beyond rude. I am declined. I have been since the AIG purchase and the establishment of the Alexander Gordon Barnett Trust in 1985. Let me add. I have been disrespected and tortured both financially and emotionally and physically ever since. This is wrong. Period. At this point, I do not feel like I have any other options. Allegedly, I've only lost $50,000 in the last 2 months. I've been refused any documentation to this claim. I've also been refused access to watch my money fluctuate like anybody else in real time. I've been refused any input or explanation as to how my money has or is being invested. Nothing has been sold since 2007 or purchased since, I guess I forgot to continue. Despite my constant requests since 1990, 300 documented in the past 2 years alone, I have zero metals or assets in either portfolio. Let me repeat. I have zero metals or hard assets in either portfolio. Having trouble with that. I have zero metals or hard assets in either portfolio. Also missing the Disney short after the past 2 years of documented evidencing and pleading is simply unconscionable. I'm beyond furious. This entire experience I'm currently enduring is abusive. I have done nothing wrong. I am the victim. Not having the decency or respect, let alone your job or the element of my trust code, or to honor your commitment to my mother, allegedly your friend, to treat me, her son, her child, whom she treasured and loved more than all the world. Have we reached the final straw yet? Joel, do you see what kind of sort of cooperation I'm receiving? You see what extent I go through to fully detail in every correspondence, and to receive what in return? This, which is nothing? In the meantime, you've already witnessed Mickey, LEFTY trustee, lose $50,000 of my money without a care in the world. So I don't have to, so I don't do anything and sit here and watch him intentionally lose or burn the rest. What would you or any of the attacked recipients do if you were in my situation at this point? The few that I have, I said I need legal representation. I am truly at a loss. Alexander. That was June 1st. On May 26th, 2022, Alexander Barnett wrote, as previously stated, both recently and back in 2017, I was getting in touch with childhood friends from Francis W. Parker, #ButtPlugDean, and receive advice and referrals. I reached out to Gresham Partners, team member Kim Kamen, to the relevant us part that follows, asked many questions that I do not have the answers to. I'm formally requesting that to be answered with documentation and not unverifiable hand-typed arbitrary numbers pulled from God knows where. Kim's response: I do agree with the person who responded involving attorneys that can dissipate trust assets, and the offer of your mother's friend to help mediate the conflict is a generous one that hopefully you can take advantage of. If you do decide to involve any of the lawyers whose names I have shared, they would be interested only in seeing clear facts set forth succinctly. I recommend you make the effort to portray yourself as focused and reasonable as you can so they don't dismiss you entirely. Now, I'm having a hard time with that, obviously, because of all the craziness and bullshit that actually exists. Now, the truth is hard to take. I understand that. I had to endure it. Why shouldn't you? You're actually contributing to this. All of this. Every nickel and dime in my mother's foundation went to this. Every investment in my portfolios, 1 and 2, went to this. We'll get into this again later. So angry. Here are Kim's questions. Here are the questions it's reasonable and focused questions that I sent to attorneys, sent to him, got 0 answers from, and them. You can see who I forwarded this to. In the year 1985, who established and funded Trust 1? What is the total value? What year did my mother die? Was I excluded from her will? Can I have a copy sent? From her will. I received a restatement of a something or other or something else, not the will. The will was never read to me. I was read the 3rd restatement, which I've not seen the 2nd or the 1st. Very curious to see how that was reorganized and when, because we know the 3rd one was done in 2007, the same year that my trust was re-signed, the same year I suggested quant trading and algorithms, and because his returns sucked. The same year I also tried to start demanding what happened with AIG. And, when did he sell that? At the bottom? At the top? No. We'll see what he did with USB. Not far from the top. Not only did it slide, it slid further, and he waited for it to slide some more so he could sell even more of it, and then take that money that's sold out at the bottom of the market and transfer that over to his lawyer, who's allegedly my future trust, was supposed to be my next trustee, and who's the trustee or the lawyer for my mother, for Mickey, for my mother's trust for my trust and my mother's foundation, but talking to me is a conflict of interest. So I've got nobody to represent me, and everything else has been grifted by these motherfuckers. So tell me how that's supposed to work. Here we go. We'll document that. That's actually already been documented, I think. Or if not, we'll see that again later. Daddy Terry. Fuck me. I'm so angry. I've been going through this for what, a year? You can see, when was this letter written? All right. Did she not leave any? Okay, so, my grandmother died. Was I excluded from her will? Can I have a copy sent? Did she not leave anything to her grandchildren? Also request copies of your mother's will and revisions, which I did. She left a trust for the benefit of my mother with the remainder of her death to my brother and me. Or was there a separate trust set up for you way back then? Or information and belief? The value of the trust at the time was approximately X dollars. There was also a charitable foundation. Who manages and the terms? 2, my mother died on, and given my personal struggles, she left assets to my benefit in a trust and appointed to and JP Morgan or North Star as co-trustees. 3, at the time of my mother's death, the total value of each trust was. I'd also like to know what it was in 2007 on the day that my website was shut down, before the crash of 2008 that I was also dragged into. 4, the co-trustees were responsible for investing the trust assets and making annual distributions to me pursuant to the following standards. What is the standard? Health, support, and education after considering any personal resource and governmental benefits. What are governmental benefits? I am the current beneficiary of a trust or of the following trusts, of which names are currently trustee. Copies of the governing trust instruments are attached. 6, I have been depending on the trust for my support, to supplement my support, and on average the trust is distributed to me X each year. The trust assets since year have dwindled down to X, where they started at Y as of the last statement I received dated. Can you include past 3 years statements so you have them, as it looked like you received some information? 8, I'm concerned that the investments were improper because they haven't grown consistent with their benchmark. Other reasons, intentionally selling them at the bottom instead of at the top and then rebuying them when they crash. Yes, that's what's actually happened here, and I will demonstrate that for you in a moment. I'm currently requesting, what do you want done? A new trustee? A change in trust investments? I've demanded both, and also audits, forensic audits, performance reviews, and a history dating back to 1985, which I've been summarily refused since 2018. Is it possible for you to try to set out a very clear storyline and 10 or few bullet points to communicate your exact grievance and what you want changed? I believe I've done that. I have that in email, and we shall hit that later in this next letter up here, the North Star Principles. It's X, let's highlight these. All right. Do you have copies of the trust instruments you could attach along with the annual trust statement showing investments and disbursements over the last 3 years? Attach anything, just the governing instruments, any formal communications from you and the trustees, and any statements that it's distracting, so I wouldn't include anything else initially. So this is apparently where I need to start. I look forward to your quick and thorough response, Alexander Gordon Barnett. Joel, not Mickey, Joel. Is there a response from Mickey? No. No? Okay. How do I close that again? Not, of course, that abuses will justify, sure, well justified being outright by that abuse, a misplaced modifier if one ever existed. I do sympathize with you to a fairly large extent, not entirely, which I will go into below. In the last month or so, someone suggested that you format your requests should be more structured. Look at that email again. It's difficult for a reader. me, for example, to determine whether there are specific items of information that might assist or help you satisfy you, whether there are specific ideas you have to propose for making for future remanagement of the trust, whether there are specific demands going forward that might be negotiated with me, keeping in mind that you might actually feel or be legally obligated as trustee to ensure a standard of management that might not satisfy you. I don't know what the fuck that means, but there may well be compromises required by both you and him. Or whether you are so involved and perhaps well justified in the abuse of the past, or blinded to the ability to cogently and rationally set out specific organized set of requests. Again, I will meet with you, Mickey, by Zoom at a convenient time convenient for both of you. I would suggest you set out specific organized sets of requests, not a backlisted back abuses or accusations, nor at time differences in investment strategy. And I would likewise request a detailed history of annual income, specific dispersals from the trust. If either of you objects to such a record, I'm fine with you sharing it with each other without including me. I must admit, I suspect the dispersals to maintain Alex's lifestyle have exceeded what the trust's initial size could support without being depleted, which is bullshit, because if the money had actually been invested, he tried to make any attempt, let alone listen to me, let alone not had me resign my trust, let alone use quantum trading and use a decent broker or someone who was actually knew what they were doing back in 2007, let alone 1985. Maybe we'd be in a very different situation had we bought $10,000 in Bitcoin in 2011 when I was in Miami. Again in 2014, which I have in emails, 2018, 19. We'd be in a very situation not even having this fucking conversation in the first place. But no, we can't do that. Virtual reality, no. Sri Lanka, use your resources to your benefit. Instead of pissing it away on bills in Chicago, you can go and hire people to actually start building things and creating things. Ahead of the curve, 2016, 17. We're talking about now it's 2023, and where is the industry at? It's just the same shit as social networking, Friends Over 50 back in 2009. And we saw, there's a piece on this document. Where the hell is this thing? Not this one, but here. From the Alexander Gordon Barnett Trust, March 1st, 1985. Section 6.07. Whenever a trustee is required or has the discretion to provide for the support of any beneficiary, the trustee shall take into consideration the manner and standard of living to which such beneficiary has become accustomed. You know how I grew up. You know where I grew up. You know who raised me. You know where we went to eat every night. Because you were at the other side of the table. Getting a free meal off my mom. The nicest places in town. Every night. And you're going to deplete the funds and not actually invest them, not trade them, not do shit, and then keep me on the dole. And then hand me handwritten bullshit. Anyway, let's finish reading this here. Whenever a trustee is required to or has the discretion to provide for the support of any beneficiary, the trustee shall take into consideration the manner and standard. My grandmother lived on Park Avenue, as did my aunts, with houses in New Rochelle and beach houses in the Hamptons. You have a lake house in Geneva on the water with a boat that says Oy Vey on the back. After destroying your wife's family's meat company. And a timeshare in Hawaii. I'm living in a fucking van on the side of the road in Las Vegas in the middle of the fucking summertime that doesn't work for a year and a half when I had $1 million in the bank. You assholes. Whenever the trustee is required to or has the discretion to provide for the support of any beneficiary, the trustee shall take into consideration the manner and standard of living to which such beneficiary has been accustomed. The beneficiary's station of life at such time, the beneficiary's need for funds to assist him in the establishment of his business or profession. 9 grand, you cut me off. Shut me down. Document. 1985, Trust, March 1st. Article 1. This instrument of the trust, created hereby shall be irrevocable and unamendable. But somehow, 2 weeks after I suggest quantum trading with algorithms in 2007, the trust somehow gets changed. This irrevocable and unamendable trust, which was written such to protect me from you motherfuckers. Mom knew what was going to happen at any time. Unamendable, irrevocable. 1985, between Mom and Milton Lefton. You untrustworthy cunt bag fuck. Excuse me, pardon my French. I know I keep cussing. Let's go back to U.S. Bank. Or should we go back to these letters? Okay, actually, let's do that real quick. Because there is something here that is... here we go. Again, June 3rd. Again, I'd like to thank you for your continued interest and support in my well-being and best interest. This is to Joel. I would like to formally request that you be given access to all my financial information, including but not limited to my portfolio, assets, and, quote, investment strategy, unquote. My expenditures and disbursements, etc. To be the more transparency, the better. The more eyes and oversight, the better. Anyone else on this list interested in taking a peek in regard to what I want and stay focused on moving forward, let's begin with access to real-time information on every nickel and dime. There's no reasonable excuse that I have and continue to be left in the dark while waiting to receive quarterly statements on what has already happened, past tense. And if I can personally build a photorealistic trading floor with real-time data streaming through it, why can't I get that from you on your... Why can't I see where my money is in real time? That's the question here. Somehow, for some reason, I've been denied access for all of these years. I think that's very clear, very concise. Where is my money? What's happening to it? What are you doing to try to make me money? And while the market is about to collapse, it's already collapsing at this point. This is June 3rd. We need to look and see what the S&P was on June 3rd. 2022. April. July. I mean, that's where U.S. Bancorp was. From 60 to, when is it? June 1st. All the way down to, went down all the way down here, 41, 42, 42.83. Where was I? Second, I want to see at least nominal donations made to the Linden Quartet, the Ariel Quartet, and the Perlman Music Program Summer School before any other donations are made. As a matter of fact, I don't want any further donations made without my approval. I am beyond disgusted with what I've found in regard to where my family's wealth has been, quote, donated, unquote, while I have been divested. Third, I have repeatedly stated that beyond being just bad business, I do not wish to have my money invested in companies that either colluded with Nazis in World War II or use aborted baby parts in their products or support the Great Reset or other assorted woke ideology. Fourth, in the past 2 years, I have daily been forwarding articles and interviews of not just the top, but every economist and analyst that does not work for the mainstream media press. Every single one of them has been warning of the oncoming apocalyptic economic tsunami that is still forthcoming. What we just witnessed in the worst 8 weeks since 1920, what we just witnessed is the worst 18 weeks since 1929. Cash me out, as I've been saying for the past year and a half. Shorts only moving forward. An immediate migration to gold, silver, and hard assets that conduct electricity. Should we do that one again? Shorts only moving forward. An immediate migration to gold, silver, and hard assets that conduct electricity. I've been saying this for the last year and a half. Oncoming apocalyptic economic tsunami that is still forthcoming. allegedly, North Star Investment, whatever, has a crack team of analysts and advisors. Hey, Brooke, right? Brooke Kuby, strategist, where are you, baby? We should meet. We should have dinner, lunch. So, you vaccinated? Ah, fuck, never mind. I would very much like to hear what they think. I'd like to hear what Brooke thinks I should be doing investment-wise. Should we wait for USB to tank and then sell it? And then give fucking the money over to the attorneys? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That's looking out for the best interest of the client. Thanks for disclosing. Where's my disclosure? By the way, this is the duty to disclose. Where was this? Every nickel and dime. Real-time access to information on every dime. What do I want? The very first thing that I asked for. I offer transparency. What do I want? There's no reasonable excuse that I'm being left in the dark. E-Trade, my online banking statements. Chase, you can see your money in real time. Why can't I see mine? Everybody, I know everybody who's listening to this. Can you not see your money in real time? Why have been locked out of where the fuck my money allegedly went? This is some Bernie Madoff bullshit. And then I'm being given handwritten receipts of where my money. This is supposed to be my fourth quarterly statement. Who the hell is this from? You're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm going to accept this. And here's all this money that went to the attorney. Hang on. You're going to love this. Okay, what happened? Attorney Abrams. Right? And this is right after he sells out. Oh no. Can we? No. Anyway, here, I've got a marked up version of this. Here. Here, this is my taxes for the first time in 6 years. And allegedly my taxes are paid without my signature on the documents for the first time in 36 years. Since 1985, for some reason, now they don't need my signature on my taxes. I called the tax lady to find out what the hell's been going on, if she could get me, my back taxes going back to 85, so I can try to reverse engineer what the hell has been happening here. And she said I don't have access to it. She can't give me access to that information because Mickey's the guy. Same shit over at Charles Schwab. They can't tell me anything about my accounts and my money because it's the guy. The guy's over at the new Devon Bank. They give loans to home loans to Muslims. Somehow all the rest of my money went to Israel and to Jewish causes, and now I'm with the Muslim Bank of Chicago. Explain to me how that works. My father donated, built a library in a school in Tel Aviv, or someplace in Israel, somewhere outside of Tel Aviv, I believe. And somehow now all of my money's been transferred to these Jewish guys over at the Muslim Bank. Explain to me how this works and how this works in my best interest. And this guy's not intentionally helping. All right, let's take a look at how he's helping. So instead of letting me achieve the American dream, and get a down payment on a house and start building equity, we put all 25,000 shares were purchased of mortgage-backed securities. After he drags me to the housing market crash, he buys more mortgage-backed securities. The same thing that tanked the market in the first place. Let's take a look at this $40 sell here on the U.S. Bank Corp. And the reason why we're going to focus on U.S. Bank Corp and why we brought that other email up without having to go through all shorts. We're talking about shorts. Jamie Dimon is warning. He's finally come out and said what I've been saying for 2 years. Jamie Dimon, regurgitate my words, will finally demonstrate that I know what I'm talking about and should perhaps be considered and consulted in decisions that only me and in regard to my financial best interest. Why does this fall on deaf ears once again? Perhaps it needs to be illustrated. Hang on. Maybe we should read what fourth is. We got through third? Yeah. Third, let's do three again. I've repeatedly stated that beyond just being bad business, I do not wish to have my money invested in companies that either colluded with the Nazis in World War II, use aborted baby parts in their products, or support the Great Reset and other asserted woke ideology. I think that makes sense. That's where everything in my portfolio, everything in my portfolio is basically this. So here we go. Fourth, for the past 2 years, and we'll go over that portfolio later. Fourth, for the past 2 years, I have daily been forwarding articles and interviews of not just the top, but every economist and analyst that does not work for the mainstream media press. Every single one of them has been warning of oncoming apocalyptic economic tsunami that's still forthcoming. What we just witnessed is the worst 8 weeks since 1929. Cash me out. Allegedly, Northstar Investments has a correct. Oh, here we go. We're right. Shorts only moving forward an immediate migration to gold, silver, and hard assets that conduct electricity. Allegedly, Northstar Investments, whatever, has a crack team of analysts and advisors. Brooke, I love you. And I would very much like to hear what they think I should be doing investment-wise. Brooke. Janet Yellen lied and finally admits it. I made this here, but check this out. It's a musical number I made to distract myself from this insanity. Thumbs up would be great too. Should we watch this? No, we won't. At this point, even the great $33 million bonus man, $33 million bonus during the pandemic. Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan has come out and stated that what I've already been saying for 2 years already. Okay, so what does he say? Jamie Dimon, CEO, JP Morgan, CEO, Jamie Dimon says there's a hurricane coming for the United States economy that you better brace yourself for. When was this? May 30th? June 1st? Gas is up. All of the airline tickets, hotels. I provided you the data, the science, as you like to say. 1/3 of Americans are making $250,000 a year and living paycheck to paycheck is what the survey finds. Hyperinflation, motherfuckers. Have I not been saying that? What have I been saying? Get me out of the big banks. Why? Big banks. Any banks. I beg of you. If you're still banking with Wells Fargo or any of the big boys, get your money into a credit union before they decide it's not yours. And I've personally worked on litigation. Now, are we not seeing this again a year later? Is that not coming up in the news right now? Was I not posting that yesterday? Again. We've expressed to the court Wells Fargo is open to working with Ms. Williams' counsel to release funds directly to her creditors for bills historically and regularly paid from her accounts. In what fucking dimension this is the place of any bank? This is the kind of shit you guys been doing, be doing. My first mortgage was from Wells Fargo Bank because they would accept gay money. U.S. Bank would not at the time. Oh, diversity and inclusion, U.S. Bank. I know it seems far-fetched, but homophobia ranked greater than capitalist greed for half my life. Sound a little familiar? This is June, right? May 1st, May 30th, June 1st? Why is this relevant? I am invested in U.S. Bank. U.S. bank reserves are down by $1 trillion since November 2021. And QT, what's QT? Hasn't even started yet. Can anybody explain why? I'll retweet the most comprehensive explanation, add some color if necessary. The floor is yours, plumbing nerds. Okay. How many of these am I invested in? BlackRock, yes, the Northstar Opportunity Index Fund. Vanguard and my personal bullshit. State Street I have not seen anyway. JP Morgan I've got money in. Goldman Sachs, I don't know, no. Yes, Microsoft. 2016, the year before the virus was announced by, yes, Dr. Fauci. Is when we bought Microsoft for some mysterious reason. Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum, is where, how much money did we give through Chicago House and the Rocky Mountain Institute? Clinton Foundation partner, baby boomer career politicians, pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, I got Johnson & Johnson someplace. Been trying to get him to sell that shit too, which by the way gave my mother cervical cancer. She liked the baby powder. I don't want to get into it, but right. Right, people believe in crypto. Do I have any Tesla? No. Do I have any of these stocks other than Microsoft? Do I have any of these stocks in my portfolio? No, but we have money over at Charles Schwab. And Charles Schwab believes in crypto. Why don't I have crypto 2014, 2011, 2018, 19? This motherfucker. All right, so U.S. Bank. Okay, so why is this relevant? Because these lovely motherfuckers. Look at this. Look at this. So why does he have to sell anything? Why is he canceling the account altogether? Why is he decimating and selling anything? The entire thing is to torch this thing before he retires. This thing was meant to go on. Why does this have to end when he ends? Why didn't he just leave everything fucking alone and maybe there'd be some point of a recovery, which we know there isn't? No. Here's what happens. He starts selling U.S. Bank Corp in October. I'm trying to get him to sell it in June. Right? May 30th, June 1st. He sells 150 shares, not all at once, but in denominations. There's a 6 in here. I don't know what these things mean. We'll have to look them up in the gematria calendar because you know they mean something because the satanic motherfucker. All right, so 48.31. We wait for it to drop to 14.38. Then he waits a month, 2 weeks. When is this here? October 15th and March 4th. No, October 4th, 2022. So we wait for it to drop another $5, $6. And he sells another 200 shares, more than the last time. That was 150, this is 200. We then wait another couple weeks for it to drop even further, and we sell another 500 shares. How is that working in my best interest? How is this supposed to help me? And then he dumps this, and every time he takes payments, every time he cashes me out, he starts writing checks to his attorney at the bottom of the market. Now now I say at the bottom of the market. Where do you think this happened? Where do you think this happened? This was when? When did the sell order take place? By the way, after he retires, he goes and dumps this. Allegedly, he retired on October 21st, when this sell took place. This is the day that he retired. He dumped it even further and lower. And then he waits until the end of the month and dumps this of 25,000 shares times 92. Tell me how that equals $794. That mathematically does not make sense. 5 times 4, 40. 500 times 40 is 20,000. How does 25,000 times 92 equals $794? Does that math make any sense to you? It does not to me. That said, what is this date where he dumps this? The first set at $48. The date, 8/15. Ready? Let's look. Let's find where this is. April 8 is August. Elvis' birthday is on the 16th. July. That's August 1st. That's September 1st. So we waited for it to drop to 48. Okay, where's 48? 48's in here somewhere. All right, let's go down to the monthly chart, the daily chart. August 22. September 8, right? 8/15. August. Where's August? Okay. All right, so here's August 22. August 22. So that's Elvis' birthday. This is August 15th. So this was 40. He fucked up. Where is it? August 15th. 48. 31. That's all right. Let's add a note. All right. 4831 on August 15th. 48. All right. Lefty sells 30, 40, 54, and 40s. Okay, so we got that. So what was the next one? So then we dumped 200 shares in one lot on 10-4. So at what? 42.55. 10-4, October 4th. October 4th at 42. October 4th. 42.55. To be precise. One more. Fuck it. I fucked up. All right. Well, this is October. No, October 4th. 10-4. October 20th. October 4th. Okay, and then the last one is 500 shares. And what, another 500 shares of 40. So we used to go down another $2. This fucking cunt bag. Jesus Christ. 42 on the day that he retired on my mother's birthday. He fucking goes and fucks me again. 500 times 40, $20,000. That's all this. And then he sends half that off to his boy. Fuck him. Hang on, where is this? 10, 21, 40, 26, 10, 21, 21st. It does it again at 40. What was that? 40, 26. He missed. He didn't quite get the bottom. Poor baby. I mean, what an asshole. On my mother's birthday. What a fucking prick. January 6th. Look what this was at January 6th. And look what this motherfucker does. Liquidate, I think it was what, March? When should I liquidate your account? I think it was what, February 3rd? Or was it March? Let's liquidate this thing. There was a spike. Gave it a couple days. Would have taken him fucking forever to do it. So I might have made a little bit of extra money there before this fucking crash. And then he dumps here, and then he dumps more down here, and then dumps even more at the bottom. And each time he's fucking filtering the cash off to his account. The guy who represents all. This is so wrong. I don't know what just happened. But you saw what that was. You saw what just happened there. Well, oh. I mean, talk to me, people here. What are we supposed to think? Not, I mean, why is the trust being drained? Why is it being like decimated and terminated? Could have left that money in there to go back. He could have left all those bullshit stocks in there that he had in there. What else did he have? And then he sells off the mortgage-backed securities that he put me in. That's the Dodd-Frank thing we were talking about. This is bullshit. This is a grift. These people are fucking criminals. And they're handing me this. This is what bank did this come? This allegedly comes from Charles Schwab. This, and then I can't get an audit. I can't get a trade history back to 1985. I can't get a lawyer to represent me because they need what? Money? This guy bankrupted me for asking for cash. You saw that there's $500,000 is gone from over last year. This is the guy. This is the guy and the outfit that is supposed to be protecting me and is supposed to be looking out for my best interest. How does this look out for my best interest? FINRA's a scam. The SEC is a scam. Legal system apparently is bullshit. Friends and family, they don't give a fuck. It seems that Tony and Christine, who ended up on the board of the foundation, were borrowing money from my mother before she died. According to her third restatement, that whatever gifts were going to be subtracted from the money owed. How much was that? Anybody want to clue me in on that? Before you started mutilating children and giving them hormone blockers and cutting off their genitals, weaponizing black folks, and doing God knows what with the children. These other places and that are supposed to be protecting them from abuse. Fucking assholes.